Inside of this box right here is the ALLPOWERS R1500, a portable power station with up to 3,000 watts of peak power delivery. This thing is built with all sorts of use cases in mind, everything from camping, parties, home backups, and more. Now, ALLPOWERS did send this R1500 over for the creation of this video, so let's get right into it. All right, now I've got the box opened up. Let's see exactly what we're dealing with in the packaging for the R1500. Looks like we have a really nice closed cell foam package here. We have a bag with our ALLPOWERS accessories. It looks like we've just got a power cable here for the unit itself. Nice and sturdy high gauge wire here. This is higher gauge than your typical, this looks like a computer power cable. It's a lot heavier gauge though than your standard cable you might have for a computer. And then we have an ALLPOWERS packet here with information regarding claiming our warranty and some social media and contact information there on the front. Got some promotional material, and then obviously we have our user guide for the R1500. Really thick here, looks to be in multiple languages, but this should include everything you need to get started with the R1500. All right, moving on, let's get this foam out of the way here. And right inside we have the R1500. Now, I'm surprised to see that there's no plastic around this, either a bag or some sort of other protective layer. This did ship in this cardboard box. It's not 100% sealed up. There are some carrying handles on the sides. So I would have really liked to see maybe some additional protection to the unit itself inside of the box, outside of the foam, which I do think does a really good job. We've also got some sturdy cardboard corners here to protect the unit in transit, but I'd really like to see a bag or some sort of protective layer for the battery inside. Now, the ALLPOWERS R1500 has a ton of awesome features and specifications, so let's go ahead and just take a closer look at the unit itself. All right, now starting things off with the front panel here of the ALLPOWERS R1500, we have a lot of features right up front, and we'll just kind of go top to bottom, left to right. So first up is our DC output section. This is where we've got two USB Type-A ports offering up to 18 watts of power delivery. And then we also have two USB Type-C ports delivering up to 100 watts of power delivery, which is really great for fast charging phones, tablets, and things like that. We have a button down below that controls the power being output to these devices, so you can turn those on and off very easily. It also is used for pairing with Bluetooth, so that you can pair your phone to the device and control it from your phone as well. Right in the center up top, we have a large LCD display, which we'll go over in just a little bit. We also have a nice power button in the center here. And then at the top right, we have our 12-volt DC output that can be used for devices that use a cigarette or AC type adapter there. Now, down below, we have 4 AC output ports, and those are available with up to 1,800 watts of power delivery. As you can see here, we've got these nice rubber flaps along all of these covers. They have a little tab at the bottom. You can simply pull that up, and then we gain access to that AC plug right inside. I really like these rubber covers to keep dust and things like that out of there, and they just simply pop back into place when you don't need them. We'll go over some of the additional functions and features in more detail very shortly. All right, now taking a look at the back of the R1500, we just have some regulatory information here as well as our serial number and things like that. All right, now on the left-hand side of the R1500, we have some ventilation up towards the top here. Inside here, there are actually 2 fans that keep the unit cool when it's charging and in use. And this is just some nice protection and filtering here. We also have some filtering along the sides here behind these grills. It's a fine mesh type material to keep those particles out. Now, down towards the bottom of the side is where we have our power hookups. And there's a simple flap here. You simply press in the middle, that clicks it open, and then you lift that up to gain access to those ports. Now, here's where we connect our AC power. That's going to use that cable that came along with this. And then in the center here, we have a overload protector. Essentially, that's a surge protector there. If for some reason it trips, you can simply press that button to reset the machine. And last up is our solar/car charger input here. That's going to be a 12 to 95 volt, 13 amp max connector there. And you can hook this up to solar panels and things like that. All right, now moving to the right side of the battery. Again, we have that ventilation opening at the top and along the sides, but we also have an expansion area for external batteries. You can hook up additional batteries from ALLPOWERS to this unit here. And again, we have that simple press to open flap, and we gain access to those two connectors inside. With the unit tipped over, you can see a very basic bottom, but I do like to see the 4 rubber feet at the corners. That removes any sort of vibration that might come from this. You shouldn't get any though, because there are no moving parts outside of those fans inside, but it does just protect the surfaces you place it on as well. And last up, let's go ahead and take a look at the top of the unit. We have 2 wireless charging spots here, each able to provide up to 15 watts of charging power. So really nice to be able to put your supported phone or tablet on top of here and get some additional charging for your devices. Another great feature worth mentioning here on the R1500 are the integrated handles on the sides. That way you can get your hands in there, pick it up, and take the unit on the go. It does have a bit of heft to it, but these handles are nice and big and really comfortable. There's no sharp edges or anything like that. Just a really comfortable carrying option. All right, now let's go ahead and dive into the operation of the R1500. So what we're going to want to do first here is power the unit on with this power button. And we've got to hold it for just a second and it will power up. And I do want to note that right now I don't have this plugged into the wall, so it's just going to go into battery mode, but we'll go over charging this device in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this power button down, and that's going to kick the unit on. As you can see, that LCD screen lights up, and also get a nice glowing green ring around the power button. As you can see right now, I've got 80% capacity here on the battery, and that is going to adjust depending on how much power is available for us. So obviously we've got the 80% showing here. That will go up and down with use. Then up top here we have our watts of input, and then we have our watts of output, and then a capacity indicator here. Right now, since I don't have anything plugged in and it's just sitting on battery, it shows that I've got 11 days worth of capacity remaining. So if I were to just leave this on in its current state, it'd stay on for at least 11 days, just being powered on itself. So what I wanted to go over first is kind of the use of these DC outputs. Again, I mentioned earlier, we've got this button here to turn those on and off. Simple press here, kicks those on, you hear a beep, we get a green light indicating that those are powered on, and then we get 2 new indicators towards the top letting us know that the DC outputs are available for us. So we've got not only our USB connections here on this side, but we also have the DC 12 volt out on this side as well. That does also power on the top 2 wireless charging stations. So just letting you know that that is available as well once the DC output is powered on. Now, moving over here to the kind of right side, we've got the button for our AC spots. So if I press that on, we get the indicator now up top that we have AC power available to us, and we have full power available on all of these plugs. Now, there's some additional configurations that we can do with the app when connected to this device that really make the additional features pop for you and let you configure exactly how you want this unit to function. All right, now that we have the unit on and all of our power sources connected, let's go ahead and plug in the power on the side. So I'm just going to pop this side open, and I'm going to place the power connection into the appropriate plug. That's going to kick on, and we're going to see this screen up here adjust now that we have power connected. So we have our UPS indicator here. That lets us know that this can operate in a UPS type of status. So if I had devices plugged into AC or any of the other plugs, it's working like a traditional UPS and not just a battery, right? It's operating in between your device and the wall power. Now, you may have heard that fan kick on just a little bit. That's because we're currently charging at right around 860 watts of input power. And we also have the little fan indicator on the screen now. So that shows us that the fan is operating. It also shows our wattage input. So that's really great there. We also have a new indicator here showing 60 hertz of frequency, and that's what we're getting from the wall, which is great. And then we have a countdown timer now for 27 minutes left in order to charge this fully to 100%. So I really like the way the screen changes depending on the mode and set operation that we have currently running. So we've plugged that power in, we've got wall power going in, and that screen changed from capacity over to the time it's needed to fully recharge. I really like those changes that we see there. Now, that fan did kick down, which is great. It doesn't always run at full speed. Sometimes it'll turn all the way off. It just kind of depends on the power being supplied and used by the unit itself. Now, one cool thing is I can plug a phone or other type of device into this unit. So I'm going to utilize one of these USB-C power connections. Plug in a cable there. And then we're going to plug in a cell phone right here. We've got a phone, just started charging rapidly. And you'll see here, my wattage output went ahead and kicked on. And that USB connection now is using 10 to 12 watts to power my cell phone, which is great. So now I've got high-speed charging going on, and it shows you, kind of a change. Now it's going to take about 32 minutes to charge because I've not only provided power to the unit, but now I'm pulling some power for that device on the USB connection. So that is going to adjust on the fly, which is really great as well. All right, now that we've shown kind of how the unit operates with the power plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and pull the power just to show you exactly what happens when I pull the power from the side. So I've removed that power connection. My fans spin down. I can close that panel. My blue ring stops spinning, letting me know that it's no longer charging. And I have 82% battery capacity now available to my devices. You see here my charging time has adjusted just a little bit, and it's going to fluctuate just a little depending on how much wattage is being used by this USB-C device still, but it's fluctuating anywhere from 2 to 3 days, and that would obviously change once that plugged-in device has been fully charged. Now, in order to utilize the Bluetooth and wireless functions of the R1500, we do have to hold in on the DC power button for 3 seconds to enable that. So I'll go ahead and hold that down till we hear the beep and we get the indicator on the screen here. We get a Bluetooth and wireless image there. And what we can do then is open up our Android or Apple app, and we can work to configure the unit itself. So I've already added my R1500 to my phone, so I've got that already ready to go. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the app. All right, now as you can see here, I have the app connected to the R1500, and it shows a lot of the same information here on the screen. Shows our charge capacity, how much time is left, the output showing the 7 to 8 watts charging my phone right now. I can also adjust the use or the availability of our AC and DC power. So if I wanted to turn off that AC power connection, I can just use this little toggle, turn that off. We hear the beep and you can hear the unit click, letting us know that that AC connection has been severed. If I go ahead and turn off DC power, we hear another beep and my phone stops charging, and that shows now we have 0 watts being utilized. You can also switch over from 50 to 60 hertz for the frequency. 60 hertz is what we're going to use here in the US, so I'm going to leave that alone. But you can also make some adjustments to the unit here. You can rename it. You can change the work mode from a standard to a mute or fast mode. That's just kind of going to adjust some of the fan settings and charging standards. The mute mode is only going to allow for up to 400 watts of charging input. That'll just keep it quieter and not pull as much power, whereas fast mode will increase that wattage and definitely up the fan speed for the unit. We're going to leave it in standard mode here. We can also turn on an eco mode that will kick the unit off after a certain amount of time, and you can set that shutdown time here with a little drop-down menu. So I really like the features that we get here in the app that let us do a little more configuration of the device. I don't think that the app is necessarily 100% required for using the R1500, but I do think it has some additional features that are handy. Now, if you do notice that the LCD screen turns off, that's just a power saving function. You can see here the unit is still turned on because we have that green glowing light. If I just tap that real quick here, it pops that screen right back on. All right, well, that was a quick look here at the ALLPOWERS R1500 portable power system. I think this thing has some really great use cases. I, for one, can't wait to get it out to our off-grid property. We have some land that we don't have any electricity at. We don't even have plumbing out there, but we do have a building and the use for some electrical capacity out there at times. So I think the R1500 is going to be a great option for us out there when we do need a little bit of power. And I can't wait to, see how this handles that in sort of environment. I think it's going to do great for our needs, and I think it'll be great for anybody that needs it, you know, for their off-grid uses or RV or camping uses, or even just a backup to your refrigerator or computer, you know, something for natural disasters, things like that. You want to take it with you camping, hiking, whatever the case may be. It's got a ton of features. We've got multiple AC and DC outputs. We've got the wireless charging up top. We've got multiple inputs, right? You can plug this into regular AC power as well as solar, and we can also extend the capacity with some additional battery banks. Overall, I think the ALLPOWERS R1500 portable power station is a great option if you need power on the go.